Hi everyone, Drini here, and welcome to my channel. So one of the common misconceptions about Bitcoin in the crypto markets is everyone assumes that when Bitcoin starts moving to the upside, every single crypto out there will really start to make gains. Unfortunately, that is not true. One of the inherent risks about investing in altcoins, not all of them will rise to the top when Bitcoin starts to recover. Unfortunately, we are starting to see that with a few of our gaming cryptos. So today I'm going to talk about Pegasi and the PGX token. And for those of you who are watching this and you hold Pegasi, the whole point of this video is not to FUD nor give you hopium. The point of this video is really let the data speak for itself so that you at least have an informed decision to make moving forward, regardless of whether you hold or you sell from now. So let's dive into the charts and try to see what the data is telling us. So what I have here is I have the chart of Pegasi, the PGX token. And as you can see, from the Bitcoin recovery started from March 14 onwards. So if we try to map out when that is, so this is March 14 right here. When Bitcoin started its rally up, as you can see for Pegasi, we actually continued to slide down right here. Had a relief candle, but we continued to slide down. And the worrying thing about Pegasi is, if you notice, we have been rejected off of the 21 EMA. And we continue to slide down from here. Now, when you look at all of the other gaming cryptos that we usually cover, look at where they are now. They are above the 21 daily EMA. So with Sandbox, with Gala, with Polis and Atlas. Atlas is also above the 21 EMA right here. With Axie, of course, we're above the 21 EMA. Even SLP is actually above the 21 EMA, and SLP is a highly inflationary token. Even coins with highly inflationary tokens like SPS, for example, and Splinterlands, where it's literally being given, quote unquote, for free to SPS holders as long as they hold Splinterlands assets, we are still above the 21 EMA, even though we have fallen significantly. Even super micro caps like Wonder Hero right here, we are still above the 21 EMA for that particular daily chart. Even the ones that have controversial tokenomics and decisions like THG, for example, we are once again still above the 21 EMA right here. So this rejection is actually quite worrying for Pegasi, because the risk that you will have is if ever it starts to go above the 21 EMA right here, where will the other coins be? Because if it starts to catch up to other coins, but other coins have already gone past their 55 EMAs, for example, then your Pegasi investment is consistently left behind. The other risk factor for Pegasi is if we have a crisis of confidence for the token, you may start to break this particular floor right here of around 16.5 cents. So try to monitor the situation. If we start really going back down here and testing these, and if we start closing on a daily time frame, when it comes to this price action, then you should really worry because the rest of the crypto markets are recovering while Pegasi is being left behind. Either way, it's a bad situation, unfortunately, for the PGX token, because what's happening here is if we go on a correction, if the crypto markets start to correct, because you already have been rejected in the 21 EMA, what more if the crypto markets correct further? So you will experience a lot more downside, at least in the short term. When we compare Pegasi to another equivalent horse racing game like D-Race, for example, D-Race has already gone up by 50% ever since Bitcoin started to recover. So the March 14 area, for example, was around here where we continued to dump. We had some prolific continued dumps over the next couple of days, but eventually things picked back up, and the equivalent horse racing competitor of Pegasi is now above its 55 EMA, and it appears that a golden cross will happen. And if Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets really just stabilize and move up from here, then you know that D-Race is in a good direction. I cannot say the same honestly for Pegasi. So let's say that you feel that Pegasi has no more hope in the future. What do you do? How do you get out of this particular investment? You have two options, of course. One is try to map out where your average price is. For example, if your average price is around here, let's say it's around 57 cents. You can hodl through it, and if it really lags behind other competition, the hope is maybe that you will eventually reach and go break even with your particular investment before eventually selling it into the marketplace. At least you have broke even and you have not lost money. However, the risk factor of continuing to hold is, of course, Pegasi will just continue to hold, or at least just continue to be non-existent while the rest of the crypto markets continue to go back up. The other solution is really to just recoup your losses and funnel that fund somewhere else. So for example, let's assume that your crypto investment was 1,000 for Pegasi and you have lost 90% of it. You're left with 100. So the way you treat the remaining funds, so let's say you lost 90% here. The way you treat this investment is funnel that 100 into a project where you feel it can at least go back to 1,000 so that you recoup this 90% via another project. So whether you feel, for example, maybe Bitcoin can at least go to around times 5 or times 10 maximum, maybe. Another option is maybe put it into a layer 1. Like for example, when you put it in ADA, for example, you're betting that, okay, maybe if ADA goes to $10, then my 100 will go back to 1,000 and at least I break even on this investment. Or if you're really a risky degen, then you put it back on gaming cryptos where you feel that the upside may be times 10 or more. So this is another option that you can do to exit positions where you really feel uncomfortable and you're wondering why is it not climbing out of this particular hellhole. Either way, Pegasi is a good example that not all gaming projects will catch up with Bitcoin's recovery. That is the inherent risk that we all have when it comes to investing in gaming cryptos. Unfortunately, these are really high risk plays and we have to tread carefully and know when to call it quits for our particular investments.